Actually, give me a sec. I'm just gonna get some water. Hmm. Hey, we are now live. I think. I hope. Let me double check my chat. Put my YouTube on my background. And are we live? Hmm. I think we are. Well, YouTube is okay. That is live. Um, Chat app. I am also live. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm just checking my. I should have done this earlier. Really. Um. Okay. All right. Anything else I need to close? That's pretty much it. All right. So finally, I was able to finish work. Actually, I didn't finish that pagoda I was drawing yesterday. I didn't actually touch it. I think I'm gonna leave that for next week. Because today I really wanna draw Ray now. Okay, I've been looking forward to be doing this. I've done a few new sketches here, like this, right? It's just this, but a bit zoomed out, and this thing where she's looking up. I kind of like it, but it's not as it looks too overly dramatic. Okay, which I don't need it to be. I want her to smile a little bit, and just I don't think Ray is a sad person. I think she does have she does have personalities, and she can smile. So I want her to smile a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, like a nice small smirk like that. And I will go with the eyes closed, the eyes open. Oh man, looking at it now, I'm still really conflicted. Anyways, these are just pretty much the same poses, right? So maybe I'll draw it eyes closed first, and if I change my mind, which I'll probably do because I'm an indecisive son of a bitch, I'll draw her eyes open later on. Okay. She needs a cookie. Well, Evangelion characters are drawn really, really skinny, right? I know. Um, which is actually a very hard art style for me to draw because it breaks a lot of rules. I don't know how to say. It's like an anime art style, right? Which would be surprising for me to say because I'm an anime artist. But I think I'm just not comfortable with drawing somebody like that, or it doesn't look right in my eyes when I draw it. It looks cool on screen. Where's that black line coming from? It looks cool on screen, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel right when I'm drawing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to focus more on her head here because finishing the head, it's like half the battle, right? I mean, for in my experience, the head always takes the longest to draw. I mean, it depends, right? If the body has a lot of detail, which she has a lot of detail here. Um, okay, let's draw the hair. She has this funky hair coming down from her in the middle of her head, and it goes to the side. This is just like a reference point for me. We're gonna give her a little bit more style um, in just a second. And she has this fringe here, sideburns that goes well into her face and both ends and into her cheeks, right? I'm just looking at the reference. Okay. Um, give her a little bit more personality by adding counter um counter flowing hair, you know, which is better to draw digital in a tablet or just a normal tablet. For me, I've been drawing on a screen tablet. We used to call this thing a graphics display tablet, right? A graphic tablet. Um, but there's nothing wrong with drawing with a just a normal tablet too. I did it for like probably longer than I've been doing this. Um, I used to own a Huion and a Wacom. Uh, fuck, I don't even remember what those are called. Right, the tablet, graphics tablet. I used to own the old Intuos 5. It's still very reliable. I don't have it with me anymore though. Sold it. But at the time it was very reliable, and I can excuse me, I can imagine myself using that too. A lot of professionals still use that, by the way. You know, those tablets where you have to have a lot of hand-eye coordination because you're looking at the screen, and you're looking your hands is like on the tablet. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. Pretty sure I'm not. We'll add some more details on her hair later. There is a particular art style that I am going to try to mimic here, which is just a little bit of a deviation from my own style. Okay, maybe like 10% of a deviation. And the reason why is I want to make every painting, every drawing, an experiment of some sort, and not just a regular drawing session, right? I want to learn from every single one of my drawings. So I'm going to be experimenting later on. Um, yeah, during the painting phase. This is just the drawing phase, which takes a while to do, actually. I think you said that twice, right? Oh, XP Pen. Which is better, Huion or XP Pen model? I'm dreaming of having an XP Pen tab. I don't really know about XP Pen. I haven't used an XP Pen. I've only just used Wacoms and Huions. But I've heard good things about it. I mean, I'm definitely interested in XP Pen. XP Pen, please sponsor me, right? But seriously, I have no experience with XP Pen as of yet. So for me, the it's not about the tablet really. I mean, the tablet's not gonna make you draw better. And also, I think it's just about getting used to the tablet. Here's the thing, okay, Peng. I can't tell the difference personally as a professional. I can't tell the difference between my Wacom tablets um, and this when it comes to drawing. I can, however, tell the difference when it comes to the technical stuff. You know, about like the technology that's in the tablet itself. But while I'm drawing, it's pretty much the same experience. Maybe that's just me, but I think, in my opinion, and I don't have any proof of this, I think all tablets are pretty much the same when it comes to drawing experience. And the only thing that differs is the quality of life, if that makes sense. But I could be mistaken there. I haven't had a sample size of how many tablets I've used. Um, I've only used like four or five other. I'm actually gonna buy. That's a good question. That's a good question to bring up because I'm almost about to buy a new tablet very soon because this thing is showing its age. Give me one sec. Okay. My tablet is showing its age. There's some problems with it already. Well, it's not big problems. You won't be able to see it on screen, but in my end, uh, it's showing some green dots here and there. It disappears right away anyway. It's not a big deal. But those are signs of an aging tablet. And probably next year, or I don't know how long this will last. I've had this longer than I've had my son, and he's 5 years old. Um, so it's just about time, I think. Okay, I know Ray has a short hair, but I kind of want to extend it here. Doesn't look right though. Let me refer back to the reference. Yeah, okay, so her hair does go beyond her cheeks like that, but I think I need to reduce this part and focus more on the front end of her hair, like this. And then we'll make her hair here a little bit more flowy than normal, because these are some jagged ass hair, right? And I want her to have a more flowy hair on my version, but still keeping that a little bit. Okay, here's the thing. I'll keep it jagged in front, and in the back I'll keep it more flowy. We'll fix that later. We'll make it a little bit more flowy later. Okay. Right now I'm just setting up some refined lines for me to follow. But it's not the final drawing yet. Well, it's almost there, but you know what I mean. It's not. It's still subject for um change rather. Okay, that looks good. All right, she has that like triangle kind of, like, that kind of look here in the sides. Kind of like it. This part though needs a little bit more fat. Okay. All right, so like I said earlier, jagged, a little bit more jagged on the front end. Like that. And we'll add a little bit of flow on the back end, as if there's like wind blowing her hair in from behind, right? And we'll refine this more as we paint it along, as we paint along. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. I kind of like it. I need bigger shapes. I need, because these are smaller shapes, right? If you zoom out, they're kind of small. I want a bigger shape here to really make that curve really nice. The shape really nice, right? A really big shape. Like that. I don't know about that. Let's dig deeper a little bit here, like this. Okay, that's. I need to dig deeper. Like this. Okay, that's better. And then I need smaller shapes again here. Hmm, maybe it's too much. Let's just keep it like that. Triangle pala hair ni Ray na may add-on. Iba kasi may style, nakatago sa hairstyle kaya parang hirap i-draw lalo na yung mga hairstyle sa mga manhwa. Uh, for me, it's the same. They're all just anime hairstyle. To me, they look like anime hairstyle. I think, Peng, I think you're overthinking it. You don't really in drawing. You don't really think about them as different. Okay, so once you learn the fundamentals, you'll see that everything in every single art style follows like the same rules. They just break them in a different way, but the rules are still there. Manhwa or Chinese, Korean manga, right? Or I forgot the Chinese equivalent, what the name was. They're all just anime art style. Just different. They just have different names because they have different. Um, they originated from a different place, but if you look at them, they're just the same. Quality may vary, right? That depends on the studio. That has nothing to do with the art style anymore. But if you look at it, like really just look at it from at a distance, they're all just anime. The art style is just anime. Like Avatar Aang, right? The Last Airbender. That's just an anime art style, but we don't call it anime because it's not doesn't originate from Japan. That's really the only thing that separates the medium from like comic books is where it originated. I think it's pretty stupid. An anime is just, to me, it's just like an anime is a cartoon, and a cartoon is just an anime. They're all done the same way. They're all like just animation. Um, but we don't call them that because of where it originated. So I think it's pretty stupid. It's a stupid distinction, in my opinion. I kind of like it, right? I mean, this part needs a little bit more help. It doesn't feel like it's balanced. I need to reduce this hairstyle and cut about that much of that side. So um, let's do that. I want a bit more flowy hair on this side. One second. I'll be back in like a minute. I just got myself some happy snack. Peanuts. Bang, you know what this is, right? You're from the Philippines. The peanut snack called Happy. I'm gonna snack while I draw. Okay, can't stop me. This has like garlic flavor, so it's gonna give me really bad breath, bad breath in the morning. Really, really good though. Pretty good. I think I'm overthinking this part here. It's okay. I'll keep it. Hmm. Okay, so far so good. We'll draw her kind of things on her head. I don't know what that is. Um, it should be right around here. It looks like this. Is that big enough? It looks like it's big enough. Okay. I'm drawing this on a different layer, not to mess up my drawings in the back. Hmm. Then there should be like a circle here that you won't be able to see. I'm going to turn that off for now. Then how does it go? From... Okay, I think this shape is too... I think it's like this. Yeah. Too much. I think it's like this, right? Something like this part here. And then it goes like this and then down here. Thinner on the middle, thick on the top. All right, that looks good. Now there's a circle here, right, in the middle of that. We won't be able to see it because it's like behind there. And let's just copy paste that and do this right there. That looks like a good place to put it. Boom. There you go. Now I'm gonna delete this part. I'm gonna merge it. I'm gonna delete this part so the hair looks like it's overlapping. Oops. Sorry, my Photoshop does that sometimes. It looks like she has some hair kind of like jumping around this equipment, like it's in its way, right? So we're gonna draw something like that on both sides. Okay, I'll draw one more here and another here. This line looks terrible. Okay, that's good enough, I think. Yo, I didn't play a game, but I have a ton of fan arts for it. But I still consider it a LARPer. I would still consider it a LARPer. I'm a LARPer too. I'm just a casual anime fan. Don't worry. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. By the way, the game though, I haven't played any Evangelion games. I just watched the series when I was a kid, and I just recently finished watching it a few months ago. Right, recently is that's like a relatively recently. um, I remember watching this series when I was a kid and thoroughly loving it, and then I watched it again. Like I said a few months ago, and honestly, I don't remember it being that good. It's not as good as I remember it. Is what I'm trying to say. It's still pretty good. It's still a solid, say 8.8, 8 out of 10, maybe 7.5 out of 10 series. Still pretty good. Um, but the at the end of it, there's so many repetitive things that was going on. It kind of annoyed me. Like I get it, right? Shinji is having a moment, but it goes on for like 2 episodes and then half the movie. I already understood what Shinji was going through. I didn't need 2 episode and half a movie of the show uh trying to like tell me that, right? Was I serious when I saw it back then? Yeah, well, I still love the story, right? The only thing that ruined it for me is the pacing at the very end of the series. That really was a like I was I was I was audibly saying, "Oh my god, just keep going already. Let's move on already." Um, that's the only thing that ruined it for me, really. So overall, it's still a solid series, and I would still recommend it. It does tackle a lot of uh some dark shit. I think I'll tackle the hand and then we'll do the face. Um, I'm still like going back and forth if I want to draw her eyes. I kind of like the emotion of the eyes closed though. I heard it's because Gainax the studio. I know. Is that how you pronounce it? Wanted to be a usual kids mecha, but the creator wanted an actual development. Plus, they were running out of budget back then. I think I've heard of that. I think I've heard about the budget issue. Yeah, the creator, it's manga. The I'm not even sure if it has a manga. But the author of it, I remember he specifically wanted it to be a bit more mature, and I think I like that about like anime in general, that it tackles a lot of mature stuff than cartoons. I mean, obviously, it's not for kids. I mean, what were they thinking, right? They're trying to adapt this for kids when a lot of the topics are definitely not for kids. Um, so yeah, whoops. Okay, let's do the hands now. It's gonna be a nightmare. I'm just gonna draw a general shape of the hands, and then we'll add detail after. Okay. It's her gloves made out of the same. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's still a little bit more latex, and we're gonna, because it's not a perfect material, we're gonna add a little bit of like wrinkling. So you'll see me draw these bumps here, and that's because I'm preparing the hands here to have a little bit more wrinkling when I render it, and these are like reminders where to put it, right? We'll even do it on the fingers. I need to look at the details. So half of her thing here is in, like, it has this color, right? So something like this, the detail. Wait, let me double check. Yeah, it's something like that. Maybe not that much. Around that much. Besides the Evangelion topic, by the way, nice drawing already. Thanks, man. I've been wanting to continue this drawing since 2 weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago. I don't remember when I started this. But a quick backstory for this drawing. This was a commission, an abandoned commission. The client just ghosted me. I got paid though, which is really weird. But the client, he just went away for some reason without any warning. So I don't know what happened. So I thought that the concept that he had was really cool. That might as well finish it, right? And also he paid me, so whatever. Okay, we won't draw knuckles because it is in a suit. We won't be able to see the knuckles. We'll draw like indication of knuckles though, like shading like this later, right? But for now, we'll just leave it like that. During the rendering phase, we'll see more details pop out here. I kind of want to add a double slit on the fingers, so it looks like this, as if it's like the um the tailor line is being hidden by this thing. I don't know what you call it, but I see it a lot on futuristic suits. This is just an addition. It doesn't exist on his armor, but it's a small addition. It's, you know, it's hopefully it's appreciated. Okay, now we could always just copy paste this, but I want her other finger to look a little bit different. This pinky looks like it's pushing more towards that other pinky. These should touch, right? Like this. Yeah, I think they should touch. Okay, so let's extend this a little bit here, or the thumb, which we'll draw later, and the thumb should be like right there. Okay, yeah, that looks about right. Let's just draw the general shape before we get into deep with details here. I have a tendency to do that. Okay. I'm actually trying really hard to uh count the fingers because I don't want to be accused for using AI. Actually, maybe I've been telling this to my audience that I might troll people by intentionally drawing a sixth finger just for fun. Bait people. But then again, once that happens, once the floodgates open, I don't know how to go back to the way it was because no, some people won't believe that. But I don't really think I care anyway. It'll just be funny. Should I do it? Hmm. This other finger doesn't look right. It looks okay. Something about it's not translating well to how I thought it would. Oops. It's from the inside. Is it translating well? It's okay, I guess. Right, so here, and then you won't be able to see the index finger. But I still want to draw it. So let's just make a bump here a little bit, right? But you shouldn't be able to see the index finger anyway. It's like behind all of those fingers. So we're just gonna imply it here. Yeah, prank normies and LARPers. Yeah, but how would I prove it though that it's not AI that intentionally drew a sixth finger, right? That's the thing, because a prank needs to be able to be revealed as a prank. So how would I do the reveal? So that I can't just videotape myself ahead of time, right? I think that's how people used to do it. But I can foresee that people will just say, "Oh, that's edited, or you did that. You already did that prior to or after the drawing was made." I really want to do that though. Make a really complex lore later. That was me, by the way. That's my Facebook. Sorry. Um, don't worry about that. I think this one's too small. I actually like the smaller size. That's what she said. Okay, that looks nice. And this does bend according to her anatomy, so we'll do that too. Because these are really tight latex, I think. And so her collarbone is going to show that here. She also has this line here, this thing before the 00. Most of it is hidden because of her hand is on the way. But we'll still draw some details. There we go. We'll even draw the 00 a little bit here. But a lot of it is like out of view, right? Okay, I kind of like this now. The hand needs a lot of help. But so far, for the most part, I'm happy as to where it is. Right? It looks good. So this finger should be here. Okay, you won't be able to see that. It's okay, it's okay. We'll just trust the process. Really, there's like 5 fingers here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you'll only be able to see 4 in front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the logic behind that. Maybe I need to reduce this to here. A lot of her anatomy really is hidden behind that suit, but still some of it is showing. So like her collarbone here is showing. We'll indicate that later with some shading. It'll look good. I think it has some blacks right around the edges here, right? It has some black. So we'll add a second line here for the blacks later when we're coloring it. I can't wait to color this thing, by the way. It's my favorite part of the process. But we're still a long way before we can do that. I mean, the line art just barely started. Does he have more details on her? He does. She does. This has this thing here. So, like this maybe. She has a lot of details. Her suit is a lot more simpler than the suit I did for Stellar Blade. Evie and Eve. Namesake. Which Evie's suit looks like a plug suit. And also the circles on her thing, it's not actually a circle. It's more like an octagon, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagon. A soft one. So, and they're sideways anyway, so we won't be able to see the hexagon part. We will indicate it like this, giving a little bit of a tapered trapezoid-like shape at the very tip of this bracelet thing. Always stress the well, and that's the later end shading. Something I forget about. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. That doesn't look right. Maybe that's a bit much. Okay. So the sketch here, I think the hands is a little bit too dull. Like it's just a straight line here. We're gonna add a little bit of taper, like this. Okay. See how that goes. And we'll add some bumps, random bumps. I think the taper is too much. That's a little bit better. Some folds, indication of folds here. It is latex, so the folds will be so much more rigid. Okay, like the arm is pulling on the clothing instead of the clothing flowing through the arm. So a lot more rigid, say like this. Okay, we'll detail again, you know, that there is again, we'll detail that later. Because there are details that I save for when I'm rendering, and then there are details that I detail during the line art, right? So as much as possible, I want a lot of the more important details to show later during the rendering. Um, it just pops out more. And a lot of these general shapes are just the line art, right? Later, I'll show you a trick. Well, if we make it that far, um, I'll show you how to get rid of the line art by painting the line art. But we don't really get rid of it, but it minimizes the visibility by a lot. Okay. That looks, let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks good. Detail on her arms. It has some prints, right? How does it go? I think it's like this. I'm not quite sure. There's a shadow there. I'm not quite sure about this, but I'll just assume it. Looking good, right? I like it. Ooh, all right, almost there. Probably time to say do the face. The face is pretty simple, and the nose here, I'll leave it to the rendering. So eyes closed. Okay, add some eyelash like this. A lot of the folds on the skin will be left out for the render, but I will add some indications there. Almost like hair. That looks good. You know what? I'm gonna be lazy. Gonna copy paste that, rotate it, and fix that right there. Lazy, I know, right? How dare you? We'll off that just in case I accidentally merge it. Do you add background for this? Of course. We're gonna add some sort of a mural behind her that's meaningful to her character. I probably will add the massive giant naked ray at the end, the white ray, you know, the thing that comes out from the ground, as well as like process, because those are like meaningful to her character, right? And I will have a dramatic spotlight or a window light. Actually, a window light would be cool. Um, yeah, you'll see. I probably won't be able to do that today because it's like I'm a long way from finishing this. However, I will stream this again tomorrow if you're up for it. You know, same time. And I'll probably finish this tomorrow or maybe I'll finish most of it tomorrow and then some of it off stream. Because this stuff takes a while, man. I think my Eevee painting, my Eve painting took me around 14 hours to draw. It was a massive painting, probably the biggest I've done in my career. And we're gonna do the same background as I did there. I love those backgrounds. So the background here will be as if she's praying in a church with the massive frame behind her. Another painting, I suppose, behind her. That's gonna take a while to draw, but we'll tackle that tomorrow. For now, I want to focus on the painting, on the character. I'm drawing this a lot faster on this side because I already know the detail on the other side of the hands, right? But I gotta be careful because I have a tendency, and this is if you don't know me, I have a tendency to rush things, which I gotta catch myself a lot. Actually, I do that a lot, and I feel like I'm doing it again. Damn, how many days did that took? Um, around 3 weeks. I could have finished it in a week, really, but I got busy. And the same with this. This has been pending for like 2 weeks from now. Since I did the sketch, it's been 2 weeks. So I don't know. It's I just take time off, do other stuff because I have other projects, and what I'm gonna do is gonna start a series. I've already started not a YouTube series, okay, a series of painting. That's what I mean. I've already started the Stellar Blade one with Eevee and Eve. I also plan to do the rest of the characters like Asuka from Evangelion, and this was just voted as the next thing I have to do on my Discord. But we'll do Asuka and Shinji, the three main protagonists, and then but the next franchise I want to do, which I probably won't do Asuka. I probably won't draw Asuka. Jesus, that sounds so wrong. I probably won't draw Asuka until much later down the year, because I want to draw something from Warhammer next time around. Maybe Titus, maybe Logar. Those characters. I'm not sure if you're a fan of Warhammer. I've done it before. I always get burned out, like halfway, and forget about it. I've done that. I've done that. I have forgotten about some of my drawings, and some of them are just probably pissed off at me, right? It happens to the best of us. It's okay. I think that looks good already. Ooh, that's looking good, right? All right, I probably can color and render this today. Now that I can see the pacing. Okay, I can see this center part being a problem, in which I'm gonna have to draw that separately using a symmetry tool. I'm gonna turn off everything first, And I'm just gonna draw that weird ass diamond thing on her center. Okay, it's really not. It's really just a diamond, a crystal thing. Oh no, Warhammer stuff. Really wish you could luck the luck on shading those. Uh, take a long while because of the dark and grimy stuff. It's okay. I'm pretty good at what I do. And yeah, a bit more showboaty, right? I got that. I got that, man. Trust in your boy, yeah. Trust in your boy. Come on. Okay, that looks good. Let's put that there. I guess. It's too big, right? Too big. About that much. That looks like it's her center. This painting will be a little bit dark too, by the way. With a bit of light coming out. You'll see. I'm almost done with the line art, so we'll begin. We'll start the We'll start coloring this and add lighting. I'm almost there. I just want to find the center of her character, which is around here. Okay, that's the general center, right? I'm not exactly the center, but it's good enough, in my opinion. Delete that. She has this line going down. Okay, so this line is going to ripple a little bit. It's not going to be a perfect line, so let's just let our fingers loose. There you go. What else? She has this two things that are really weird coming out of her ribs. I don't know how I'm gonna express that because there's no space here. I probably will just do this. Right? That's good enough. Okay. Let's do that. What did it look like though? So, like headlights. Wait. I forgot the shape. Longer in the front and shorter in the bottom. Okay. So, longer on the front. And then as it tapers to the back, it like this. Okay, that looks good. There's definitely some dirty part of the drawing. Dirty. What's up with the double entendres today, eh? What I mean is that there are some dirty lines. Right, that I can still see. It's okay. That actually pretty much concludes her line art. Did I miss something? I didn't. Hopefully I didn't. We can always go back to it if we missed something. Now I am gonna draw a variant of her with the open eyes. I really want to do it. Okay. Eminence, yo, live crew checking in. I know, right? So I'm gonna draw a variant of her with the open eyes. Welcome to the chat, man. Or rather, welcome to the chat, Your Eminence. You know what? I'm gonna draw this eye on a separate layer because I don't want to bump into my already clean line art. Should I give her more of a raised eyelash than a... Yeah, let's do a raised eyelash because she has her eyes open for the most part. Hello, Your Eminence. I was just talking about Warhammer actually, in which I'll probably end up doing that next week now. It's on my lineup. Uh, and then I'll alternate because I still have one more painting from Stellar Blade. So next week will be Warhammer, and then the following week will be Stellar Blade again, and then the next week will be Evangelion again. I got like 9 other paintings to do before I can launch my shop. Is it 9 or is it 8? I forgot. Something like that. I have a big announcement though. I probably won't announce it until months later, but something big is going on that I'm really excited about in the next few months. But man, yeah, just to tease a little bit, it's something that I've been dreaming of ever since I started drawing manga. But I don't want to jinx it for now. Okay, I'll just say that something's big is going on with Final Fortress. Raven from Stellar Blade. Yeah, I'm doing Raven from Stellar Blade. It's either Raven or Adam. She looks like she's winking at the camera. Cheating. I'm being lazy, okay? It's copy pasting this thing. Okay, I really like the open eyes now. That's really dope. Okay, I mean, I could probably do a better job at it though. Maybe thicker. No spoilers. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited to announce that thing, dude. I'm even talking about it when I shouldn't, but yeah. So there's this thing on the eye, right? That goes like that. I kind of just like to indicate that instead of actually drawing it. But for now, I'll add it there. Kind of looks okay. You know what? We'll just indicate it later. It's okay. What's up with this drawing? There's a lot of dirty stuff here. Dirty line art. What kind of idiot drew this thing? Okay, so those are like eyelashes. Well, I actually don't like it. Okay. I'll probably just draw eyelashes like this. Eyelash? Eyelashes? Is that what you call it? Does the eyelash at the bottom of the eye have a different name? Or is it just eyelash? Now let's show the eyelid a little bit here. What the hell is this? Okay, that's good enough for now. So I just copy pasted the eyes, right? So it might be a good idea to make a little bit of a difference by just adding these, changing the shape of the spike, redrawing them. Later, it's going to become a little bit more softer, the eyelash, because right now it looks really rigid. But when I'm rendering this, I want it to be a bit more softer. I want her to look at the camera. Her eyes right now looks like looking at the upper left corner. Push that more to the center. Same here, just a little bit. I don't want her to look like she's cross-eyed, right? Now she looks like she's looking at the upper center. Maybe let's duplicate that. And I'll do something here that's haven't done for a while. And that's to cheat the eyes. Let's make a circle. It's too thin. 4. Okay. That looks about right. Almost there. How about that much? Okay, that's about right, I think. She looks really creepy, That's about right. Maybe a bit more like this. And cut. Let's see if this is good. Ooh, she looks really creepy. Alright, I'm gonna stick with the other eye. She's looking at the upper right. Okay, that looks more elegant, I think. Okay, and I think this is pretty much it for her drawing. We can start painting her now. Yeah, totally. I just need to fix the line art here, I think. The hair. And we can start painting. You know, I forgot the hair on the back part. The back of her head, I mean. It's not so much, though. It's no big deal. Just something like that. All right, so there is some lines that are not drawn really well, like this. I need to make a mask, and for that I need to make my line art closed and not have open gaps like that. So I need to check all the edges. There, see, there's an open gap here. Let's go around. That seems to be it. Check. There's still an open gap somewhere because it's doing this thing instead of that. I need to look for it. These are really hard to identify. I don't see any gaps. Oh, there's a gap right there. See? Right there. That should close it. Yeah, it does. All right, let's start coloring her and also doing the background. First, need to start with a mask. This is how you make it. Make a gray fill layer. Put it below the line. You know what? I'm gonna put all these sketches on a new layer called sketches. The group layer, so it's more organized, right? Oh yeah, I still have my Stellar Blade reference. I'm gonna delete that because I'm using the same file. I know, right? Let's go. So I'm gonna name this L for line art and M for mask, and delete the mask. That's the mask. make a background. Let's start with a dark background. I'm gonna color her first, and then let's set up the lighting. Hello, new viewer and follower. Fellow artist, I make comics of my own. I watch anime too. Sorry, but I haven't watched Evangelion. I watched JoJo's, One Piece, and more. That's real cool, man. Yeah, yeah, you should totally watch it. Well, depending on how old you are, okay. It's not necessarily cultured, but it has mature content. So yeah, Evangelion is definitely something that you should watch. It has a big fan base and very big devoted fan base. That's it, right? But thank you for the follow, man. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I appreciate that. JoJo's, I haven't watched JoJo's. It's on my list though. I'm watching a big series at the moment. It's not an anime. I don't really watch anime all the time. Actually, I've watched a lot of anime recently. That's why I'm watching something else. I'm watching this series called Supernatural. It's pretty old. But I've been meaning to watch that too. So, but JoJo is in my list to something that I should watch. I am a big fan of Hirohiko Araki, the author of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He wrote a book, not a manga, right, but an actual book, and that book inspired me to start my own manga. I'd also recommend you pick that up if you want to do that. He's a very prolific man, and he knows his way around the industry probably better than most people. Okay, let's start coloring. I'm 15. I don't care. My comic series is called Unbound Spectrum. I don't care. Why don't you care? I also have a channel. I don't have anything that I can draw and show my drawings, like a digital tablet. I'd wish I had one. Well, if you could just draw on a paper with pen and paper, right? That's good enough, I think. You don't have to have a drawing tablet to be able to draw well or learn how to draw. Everything you'll learn on a pen and paper will translate on the drawing tablet. So while you're 15 and while maybe you're saving up for money, I don't know, while you don't have a graphics tablet, I would recommend you get a sketch pad and a pencil, and then just start drawing everything around you, like still life. Draw that plant over there, the tuna can on your cabinet, draw the fridge, stuff like that. I will just start drawing everything around you. As for starters, okay. Okay, where was I? I was gonna draw a color the thing already. Okay, so this is mostly white. I'm not gonna copy the color here. I'm gonna make my own. He is a little bit more on the cooler side. So let's go get a blue and slightly sky blue white here. Not exactly white. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna set up my layer too. Can you actually see my layers? Yes, you can. Okay. Damn, my chat went away again. All right, there it is. So my layer goes S for skin. So I kind of separate the colors for different parts of the body, right? S for skin, C for color. This is going to be the general color for everything else besides the skin, and then H for hair. The hair color will be in a different layer. I don't know why, but it's just a habit of mine of naming this layer, the shadow layer. I just name it F. Maybe it's because it's close to to the fingers where I'm typing, right? And we're gonna go 30, let's say 55%, and a multiply layer. I'm gonna experiment and go darken instead of multiply. Usually I do multiply. Let's do multiply, and then we'll experiment with darken later. And we'll duplicate that layer. Name it F2. Duplicate both layers. Put it underneath the skin layer. So I have a different shading as well for the skin. Well, I'll show you what I mean by that later. Okay. So below that, we'll do the terminator line. Terminator. I just named it term for short. And then temperature. Temp for short. Above the hair, we'll do textures. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Textures, and then of course the lighting. We'll do overlay, O for overlay, and we'll add two layers of lighting too. One for the general lighting, and then one for, let's say, the rim lights, right? O two. We'll add more layers later, but this is my basic setup. Okay. I am sorry, jeez, I can't read. Actually, I'm visiting but I live in Greece. Oh, hello, man. I think I'm like one-fourth Greece. I met my great great grandfather. Well, I didn't meet him, but I kind of met his relatives, and he's from Mykonos. I think I don't remember what the. He has a really Greek name and a Greek face. There is a supermarket called Flasio. There is another one called Public. Both of these have phone devices, school supplies, and kitchen stuff. That's nice, man. I think my public school also has a lot of those things, especially toys. And I used to gather up uh, trading cards, really that bootleg trading cards, right? They were really cheap, like 5 pesos back in the day for like 10 pieces. And I would just copy the artwork in there when I was in grade school. In public, I did find a drawing tab, but I told my parents that I want a new phone. I think that's okay. Again, like I said before, you don't really need a drawing tablet to be able to draw well, or start your art journey. Drawing with a pen and paper, sketch pad, basic stuff like that goes a long way, man. I promise you, it will go a long way. Um, okay, where was I? I totally forgot my train of thought. Let's start with the skin. I like this pale. She's really pale, right? I think the only part that's showing her skin is the face. So that's really easy. Where's the C? Return to that blue stuff. Something like that. Okay, let's start coloring her. We'll add the lighting right after the coloring. Okay, this is just local color. Local color is the color of an object that isn't affected by light or any shadow, any values. Okay, so it's just the color by itself, like that. Let's see. Here it is. That's about right, I think. Okay. Let's see. Last year time. That's okay, man. I don't even know that place, but I'm sure it's interesting. There's also a school in my hometown called Public, so that's really funny that yours is also called Public. It's a public school, so that's why it's called Public. Okay, add the oranges. The oranges. We're gonna create our own red orange, a bit more on the pastel side around here. Let's see how that works. It's really dark. Let's saturate that a little bit. Brighten it up, then saturate it. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think I missed this part. So I'm using the magic wand to color, and it's not a perfect method. There's still some stuff that are leftovers here, for example. Oops, what happened? My Photoshop spatters out sometimes. Also, I can find white gel pens. Gel pens. I'm gonna buy some online, and also Pakistan has good fine liners. You're gonna go to Pakistan? That's cool, man. Public here is supermarket, but I get my funny thing. I get the funny thing. I don't know hatching lines. Also, do you know hatchings? You mean hatching lines? Yeah, of course I know hatching lines. I don't normally add those on my big paintings like this. I add them a lot on my manga. Is her gloves the same color as it is the same? It's a bit greener, right? Something like this. It's a different color. Yeah. And then this thing is like dark green. We'll go like, we'll change. We'll use the same color that we used here, like that. And then the brown, weird looking stuff, like so. The black part here, color, and then the orange on her neck, color. Cool. I found someone who knows hatching in my friend group. I'm the only one who draws. It's a friend group of four. All four of us have channels. That's so cool. Do you collaborate? I suppose. We have a group called channel too, but we don't upload a lot. Yeah, man. Just it's about. I think it's about consistency. Well, I don't really know. I'm probably not the best person to get advice when it comes to content creation. But for me, it's just about consistency. You know. Do you know Shrimpy? I don't know Shrimpy. I probably do. That sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar. Okay, I'm just gonna fix the other detail that I missed here. Like there are some small, um, like small sections that I failed to color, and so this is just me fixing that. Must be a very nice and tight friend group if you're, collaborating with those channels, right? Hmm. Okay. All right. I don't think I missed anything else. Let's make the hair now. Really nice sky sky blue hair, saturated. Um, boom, so cool. He's an artist who uploads on YouTube. Maybe that will remind you something. Also, do you have your own characters? Yeah, I do. In fact, if you want, I can send you a link. I'll just send a link to the manga that I'm creating. I already have chapter 1 and one shot already in the can, and chapter 2 it's like in 2 weeks, I think, something like that. Oh, I already reached 1,000 views. Nice. 7,000 on my old one. Um, where are you chatting on YouTube? Come on. There you go. If you want to read my manga, all my characters are there. It's a bit old though. I haven't really followed it up for a while. But I'll be following it up next week in 2 weeks time. So hopefully you read it. Leave a like and comment down if you can on the page. It helps it promote. It helps the manga be promoted on Shueisha's Manga Plus. But you don't have to, It's okay. I'm just a lowly YouTuber, streamer, artist, begging for likes. I believe Ray has red eyes, right? I'm gonna have to look at the reference. Those things I kind of forget a lot, small details. Well, it's not that I forgot. I just want to double check. Red eyes, of course. It's like orange eyes, almost the same color as her suit here. Okay, cool. I'll read it. I have made 5 comic books. Just came up with a series Nene recently, and they usually would be Who versus Who for 4 issues. The fifth one was canceled. Oh, okay. Well, it's too bad it's canceled. Okay. Traditionally, you'll have the same color as your hair with the eyebrows, the eyelash, but we're not gonna do that. It's gonna look weird. So we're gonna add a darker blue instead. Okay, like this. And technically, it's this still blue, but it's just a dark blue. Okay, we'll render the eyelash uh, here too later. It's gonna be so awesome. Whoops. Okay, add the orange now. I'll just do this. I'm a bit lazy today. I think I remember it correctly. Her eyes are in fact red. That's a really nice red. Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. We'll just use that one. I'm already into the. If people want to cancel, I don't push them. Actually, I type that title was issue number 5. The darkness consumes. Okay. Also, I like your style. It looks fresh and good hatching. Thanks, man. That's a bit old. Chapter 2 will be on a much different art style I've developed since, I started. I don't like this white. It's too white. You'd never paint with white. That's like pure white on the eyes. I'll just do this. A little bit yellow. As if she's taking them drugs. Okay, that's nice. She looks like she's high. Oh, it's the eyes, right? It doesn't translate well with the color. Yeah, it's not translating. I'm gonna redraw the eyes. Give me a sec. It looks good here. Okay, okay. We're gonna have to redraw this thing. It looks absolutely horrible. But she just looks like she's high. I'm gonna erase this for now. It's kind of getting in my way. We'll lower her eyes like this, just a little bit, and her eyes should be a little bit more bubbly. I don't know if this is a good idea. I like her out style, looking fresh. Maybe some shading. Well, some shading later. Um, I just don't like the way I drew the eyes for now, okay? Again, I'm gonna be lazy and just do this. Who cares? Totally fine. Erase that stuff. Okay, that's a bit better, I think. Let's move the eyes here slightly to the left. Okay. Now she's looking more like she's looking at the camera, right? Let's recolor that. Add shading into array. And we'll add shading later. For now, this is just the local colors, okay? So like I said, local colors are the colors that are not affected by light and shadow. You always start with that. Shading later. And the way I paint is I do it in stages. So line art, well, sketch. Okay, sketch. Then line art, which I just finished. And then local colors. Then set up the lighting and then do the shading. We're almost there. We're almost in the shading phase. Just bear with me. Oh, look at this. Forgot this part. You know, I'm gonna really dig in to her eyes here like this. What the? Okay. Is that right? Okay, that seems to be right. Almost done. Okay, that's so much better. Oh, I forgot this part. Where's the hair? I forgot this part. Okay, she looks really clean. I don't need the reference anymore. We're gonna turn that off. This thing. I'm gonna put the reference on the back here. We can now add our lighting. Uh, Sorry, but are the layers in digital art necessary? It's not necessary. It's just it just makes my life easier. So many layers, right? But I'll explain my layers in just a little bit. But I want to add my lighting. I'm still deciding if I want to do a spotlight. What would be a nice color for Ray? Let's do a warm color in contrast with her blue motif. I'm not sure how that would work. You know what? Let's do the lighting that's coming from below her, like this. Whoops, wrong layer. Come on. Yeah, like this, right? So that's the secondary lighting, and we'll add a really strong, say yellow, the upper section here. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Okay, we'll add some textures. You know what? I'm not sure about this. Let's make a blue. Oh, I kind of like that. A really soft blue, like that. Okay, and maybe reduce the red, like this, darker red, darker red. Yeah, reduce the red, pull that down. Do humans ride in robots in Evangelion? And if yes, why not make the background like Ray is in her robot? I have a, I already have a general idea as to what the background will be. It's going to be like a chart, like a ornate frame behind her, with like symbols and another painting behind her, really, with whatever it is happening with Ray at the end of the movie, of the series. Um, yeah, I could make actually a robot, like just the face of the robot behind her. I'm not really a fan of that. Um, but let's just make the background texture for now. Okay, I'm just doing the lighting. Um, where is my? There it is. I like to add textures on my background. Okay, let's make a white, something like this, and let's go back and forth with the black until we have a nice texture. I'm just adding in different kind of strokes here. Maybe we can even do this. That looks nice, but I'm gonna go further. Okay, let's adjust that. And add a little bit of some minor detail here. Something like this, some whites, some pinks, the bottom. We'll draw the background later. I'm really just setting up the lighting here. That's the most important part. Even do this, right? Okay, let's do overlay. Actually, let's do vivid light. It's nice. Let's turn it off for now. Okay, we can get into shading now because I got my light source. I got my light source set up. I'm actually not sure about my light source. Yeah, I'm not really sure. How about we turn off the blue? Or maybe dumb it down to 30%. Ooh, that looks nice. I like that. So the main light source will be coming from the bottom, which would light up her hair here. Let's change that to a little bit of orange. Yeah, something like that. Darken it, light, saturate it. Okay, that's a little bit better. Maybe even brighten it up, saturate it even more, change it to a more yellowish. That's way better in my opinion. What is the hardest part of digital art in your opinion? Well, the hardest part of any art, not just digital, is the coming up of ideas for me. That takes a very long time. It takes a lot of sketching, thumbnailing, and inspiration to come up with something new. Everything else really it's kind of easy. It comes easy for me. But once you got the idea, once you got a solid idea, the painting just comes naturally for me. But what I would say, maybe the second part is the line art. It's because you need to be a little bit more cleaner. Now, a lot of artists don't actually skip the line art. For me, I love doing the line art, man. I don't want to skip it. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna do the shadow. Hopefully that answers your question. We're gonna be doing the shadows now. Give me a sec. So I kind of like painting as if I'm painting on a traditional canvas, and I'm gonna slob my paint brushes here, the colors that I'm gonna use. Okay, so for shading, I've said this before, but I'll keep saying it. There's a color to the shadow. You don't just go black. You just didn't go black, right? That looks really muddy. So instead, what you need to do is identify what the background color is. For this part, it's a blue. Okay, so we're gonna go dark blue instead. Okay, something like this, and that's gonna be our shadow. Okay, it looks it looks cleaner. I'm gonna put that there as a blob. Okay. And let's start shading. So the way I shade is I just color them. I color the entire character. Maybe I need a thicker shadow like that. Okay. And since the light is coming from the upper part of this, so a lot of her lighting will come here and then come here in her shoulders. Okay. And then come here on her hips. That sounds so bad, right? Come here on her hips and here to the hand, top of the boobs, the booba. That's gonna be her lighting. Again, very rough, right? And we're gonna add a secondary lighting too later with all the darker parts here, but we'll start with the first layer of the light. Oh, and of course the face, the light of the face will be like this. Actually, I want to color the face separately from everything else. So let's just start. Okay, can you do a vivid for studying anatomy and how to draw? Basically, I've watched countless and still find it difficult. Anatomy is difficult by its nature because you got to get the things right. The reason for that has to do with our human eyes. We've been trained for all our lives to identify human faces and human anatomy, and so the smallest mistake will, a small mistake with human anatomy, you can immediately identify what it is, right? You gotta train yourself. You're just gonna have to push through that. I don't think I know a way to teach anatomy um, in a way that it will interest you. My philosophy is just go through the process. It's a very important process. For me, I am not the best anatomy. In fact, I hide a lot of my anatomy. Um, Not that I don't know any anime. I know enough from it for my joints to be really good, right? To look proportionate and stuff like that. Uh, Maybe just study geometry instead, right? Like take a look at the video that I made about drawing hands. It has I just basically just break down the hands um, in its most basic geometric form, right? So that's how I would probably suggest if you have trouble with anatomy and it's like hard for you to understand what how it goes. It says break it down to basic shapes. The fundamentals are actually really boring to study. Okay, everybody just wants to skip the fundamentals, thinking that they can just well, some people can. Some people can just skip the fundamentals and have intuitively correct idea as to what's going on in their drawing. So when I was starting out, I didn't even know any of this stuff. Oh, the anatomy? I just copied my trading cards and the artwork that was there. Um, I forgot my basic question. Do you like dinosaurs? If yes, which one do you like? I'm not really a dinosaur connoisseur, but I'd say it's a T Rex. Like the most basic answer question to that. The most basic answer to your question. I know. I'm a I'm a casual. I'm a larper when it comes to the dinosaurs. I don't know, man. I'm not really into dino. I used to be, right? That probably, but if you were asked to ask me as a kid, I'd probably say the Triceratops would be my favorite dinosaur. But now I like predators. I like animals that eat other animals. What do you like? Hey, or maybe would you consider a saber-toothed tiger a dinosaur? Because that's really I don't think it's a dinosaur, right? It's like already a cat. But again, I'm not an expert. Therizinosaurus. I have no idea what that is, man. Sorry. Um, I gotta catch up on my dinosaur lore. I actually can't believe I made it this far and did this stream. I'm already painting this thing. Well, a saber-toothed tiger was prehistoric animal. Look at the similarities between modern lions, tigers. I think they have a lot of similarities in my opinion. Is it prehistoric or is it Cretaceous? Because they live alongside mammoths, and I believe they were already humans when mammoths roamed the planet, right? That looks pretty okay. Time for the midtones. Add some midtones in here. And I'm gonna start blending a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. We'll blend more later once we have the overall shape of the shadow that we want. For now, let's just start with this. The midtones. Whew. I gotta get some stretches, eh? Cretaceous was dinosaurs. Prehistoric mammals is after dinosaurs we went extinct. Sure, there were prehistoric fish and birds, but there were more during the so-called Ice Age. Maybe the Ice Age is true. I don't know. Probably right. Um, that's looking good. I want to do the face. How are we gonna do the face? Maybe like this. Okay. Let's start with that. You know what? I'm gonna do the face a little bit differently. I'm gonna erase the shadow for the face and then recolor it on a different layer, like so. So that way I don't have to rely on the selection tool to render this face, and I can just freely shade here. Oops, my son is calling me. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, I'm coming. Alright guys, I gotta end it here. Sorry. My son needs me. He's like yelling in the background, okay? Thank you everybody for hanging out. I gotta cut this short. We'll continue this tomorrow around the same time, okay? Have a nice day.